Hello, my name is Hannah, and today we're building a coastal industrial house on like the edge of the waters in Brindleton Bay. Now, I don't usually build on these lots because I think they're really ugly and I can like never figure out what to build on here, but I was really inspired by the family that I made that you may or may not have seen by now. I really don't know. It may come out tomorrow or the next day. I'm not really sure. You may have seen it or you will see it at some point. I did record it. But I made this family, and it is 2 parents and then a toddler, and so I kind of wanted to put them into my save file where I'm just like redoing all of like everything and like making new families and all that stuff. So I was like, I'll build them a house too, that's fun. And so I spent so long building this house. I think it was closer to like an hour and a half. And if you've like ever heard like any time other like that I've talked about how long I spend on my builds, recently they have been going up, like how long I've been spending on them. But this is very strange, especially because it's not that big, and it's technically 2 stories, but it's like 1.5. So it's not even that big. It just took me so long to build it, and it's very, very strange. But I really like this house. That's why I spent so much time on it, was because I was enjoying it so much, and I was trying to make it so that it fit the family, but I was still trying to fit with the like industrial vibes of like the area, because like this kind of area is very like, it's got like a port and it has a bunch of brick and like all of that stuff. So if you were to put like a cute Dutch colonial house here, I feel like it would stick out like a bunch. So I was like, I'll do the industrial, but also the family is very like fantasy vibes, like all of like cute and like green and like browns and everything. So I was trying to mix the two, and I had a lot of fun doing that because it's black, brown, brick, and then green, and then like plants everywhere, and I thought it just looked really fun. Another big thing, you may or may not notice in like later in the video, there are not bathrooms in this house. Like at all. Like I just entirely forgot to put bathrooms. I was having so much fun that I just didn't want to ruin the fun, apparently. My brain was like, no, bathrooms are boring and you're having fun. You don't need to remember those. And so they are there in the gallery version and in the screenshots. They're put on like the side, like the right side, the like very right side. I made like a tower in which I put a bathroom on both of the levels. So there is now 2 bathrooms, which is fine because there's only 2 bedrooms. But I just completely forgot that there needed to be bathrooms in the house. I don't know what I was thinking, but it's kind of funny because I've done that several times now. But, you know, there are bathrooms now. You just will not see them being built, but bathrooms are boring anyway, so it's not like you wanted to see those anyway. It's not that important. And if you really wanted to see those bathrooms, you can see them from the top-down screenshots, I think. Because I didn't want to record it, because it would have been like 20 seconds of recording just to figure out and then speed up to like 0.32 seconds. And so it's not worth it like at all to record that, so I just kind of gave up. And then also, I don't really know why, but the entire time I was thinking, I was like, but what if it floods kind of thing. So that's basically what I made. Like the bottom floor is like raised kind of like the whole like main floor is the second floor, and then the first floor is like mostly just like open to the outside, just like a driveway kind of area, which I put a basketball hoop on, which I thought was pretty fun. But then I have this area that I originally have just the brick and then the brick, which I take up to the upper stories to make it more of like an aesthetic choice instead of just like practical, which is what I was thinking when I was doing it. Like if it floods, you won't ruin your floors, which it'll probably already anyways like ruin the floors anyway because they're going to be covered in water and, you know, seaweed and stuff. But like besides that, I was just like, if you make them all like brick and stuff and make it all like stuff that's not going to get damaged by water, then you're all good. So that's just kind of what I did with this build. And so, you know, that's pretty fancy. I also put a bunch of solar panels on the roof that you just saw right there. Would that do like literally anything for the power bills for this house? Probably not. You're probably gonna need like 100 of those to be able to like make money off of like more energy. But like that's okay. Those aren't, you know, doing that much, and I don't have any like water or anything, so your bills aren't gonna be that much cheaper. But to be fair, I also have not ever used the like off the grid or like using all that power stuff like ever. So I guess I'm not a reliable source for that one, but I also almost forgot a staircase. But I did remember that one while still recording, so, you know, that one's a bit better than the bathroom situation. But, you know, it's there eventually, and so everything's all good. But that's enough talk about the build. I'm going to move on to today's topic, in which is a continuation of yesterday or 2 days ago's topic. I don't really remember which days these all get, posted. But I went to the apple orchard over a week ago now because I was planning on recording that video like sooner than now. Because I went to the apple orchard like a bit ago, but I had more stuff to talk about, and like we did a bunch of stuff that day. So I was going to talk about more stuff, and I have like a couple things written down. But it's been a bit for me, not for you. It's been only like 1 to 2 days for you, but that's fine. Whatever. You don't really need to go watch that video to understand this one either. Just putting it out there. But the first thing is that while we were there, we ate lunch, obviously, because we were there over lunch, but I got like a chicken parmesan sandwich. Now, it was a very good chicken parmesan sandwich, but when I was expecting, when I was ordering that, was like the chicken to be like boiled or whatever, like made out of the parmesan part. No, not entirely, but like it was a chicken, like it's chicken sandwich. And then there was like a full layer of just cheese and then like pasta sauce. So it was huge and it was a big mess everywhere. Now we don't have like actual tables because it's an apple orchard, but it's like a fancy apple orchard, just imagine that. So it had like food trucks, which is where we got the food from. So we were sitting on the ground, just eating and stuff, which is probably preferable because then you didn't get all the tables dirty and stuff. It's a lot less to handle for the apple orchard. But I went through 3 of those like container things like that you would imagine you get at a food truck that are kind of like papery and have like the red and white square boxes and stuff, like those. I went through 3 of those because it kept melting through the bottom. I don't think I ingested any of the like wrapper or any of that stuff. But like it had like one of those like kind of like paper things around the sandwich and then the container, and both of them melted, and then I had to get like somebody else's, like my brother's. I took his, and I think I took my mother's too, after they were done eating, because their food was so much less messy than mine. But I wasn't expecting it to be like full on like melting cheese everywhere, sauce, everything. But it was very good. It was a very good chicken parmesan sandwich, and I didn't eat all of it. I think I left a bit of it, because it was just so much cheese and sauce everywhere. It was very rich, and then also I knew I was gonna go eat apples after that, and I didn't eat that many apples, but I was still very full. A lot of food that day. Not even that much food. It just felt like so much food that I was eating, and so that was really fun. But also like right before the like Parmesan situation, me and my brother were sitting on the floor, and he had just finished his hot dog, I think is what he was eating, and me being me, I was playing with the acorns and sticks that were on the floor. That is very stereotypically me. You could literally open any of the videos in which I talk about my time doing a camp at the zoo, and I was literally I talk about playing with plant stuff and sticks and dirt and worms and all of that all of the time. It's there and available, and so I took, I had been breaking the acorns, it's fairly fun, but I took one of them, and I had I tried to break the top off, and I did, and then, like, the acorn part, like, kind of fell apart, because, like, the middle of it's gone, because a squirrel got it, probably, I would imagine, and then there was, like, a worm in there. I think my brother screamed maggot. I don't think that's what it was, however, it looked very similar. It was just like a little white worm kind of looking thing inside the acorn, but it was very much that worm's property. I was just intruding on its acorn. So, but you know, I was a little frightened by the worm in that situation, so I stabbed it to death with a stick. But to be fair, I feel like most people would stab bugs to death or, you know, kill bugs when they first found them. This bug was not going to hurt me in the slightest bit. It was on an acorn that I had killed and mushed. But, you know, we were also eating there, and I really am not the biggest fan of bugs mixing with my food. I like bugs when they don't interact with my food, so I just kind of murdered it. And then we moved slightly because I had stabbed it with a stick into the grass right in front of where we were sitting. So I moved slightly forward, And then we had the chicken parmesan situation. So, you know, that's pretty fine. But we didn't get any chicken parmesan on the grass. It was just dead worms. Which is probably what they expect anyway. There's probably dead bugs everywhere in this apple orchard. But, you know, that's okay. That's just kind of what they do, is die. But also with the bug thing, I ate like 2 apples, like not that many for being in an apple orchard, which is the thing that they allow you to do. They allow you to eat the apples while you're there. It's part of the experience kind of thing. But one of the apples that I was eating, I was about to take a bite out of it, and then I almost bit a wasp, so I impulse chucked it at the floor. But that's probably not the best idea when there's a wasp on your apple. But I didn't eat an entire apple, or I didn't eat the entirety of that apple because it's not mine anymore. The wasp took it. It's just not my issue anymore. Nope. It was a pretty good apple though. We do have some at home still. We have those apples that we, you know, bought, but the wasp got that one. The wasp's fate, I have no idea. I do not care. But I did chuck it at the floor. Not the wasp, but like the apple, you know. That probably was common sense, but, you know, it could have gotten mushed. It could have just, you know, rolled away and just didn't care enough to come at me. But, you know, didn't get stung by a wasp and didn't eat a wasp, so we all good over here. So, you know, that was pretty much it for the apple orchard, and I'm done with talking about it right now, and it's almost the end of the video. I've actually talked a bit past the end of the video, but that's okay. So I post a new video 4 days a week, so you can watch another video next time. Bye!